Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of ICD-10 CM coding. This week, we're going to talk about two very important topics about health status codes and inpatient coding. Let's talk about health status codes first of all. The main thing you need to think about is, and this kind of goes back to the guidelines, you need to think about what it is that the patient is coming in for and code everything that influences a patient's care. This includes personal histories, past histories, and other things that are not necessarily diseases. I'm going to be putting on Moodle a list of main terms you can use that I created for other courses to find these health statuses. And again, there are things like encounter, exam, history. When we talk about history, is it history as in a personal history, or is it history as in family history? All those things are going to drive you to the correct health status code. These also include such things as some codes that are fairly new to us, and these are social determinants of health, things like homelessness, food insecurity, and other things we want to capture in the interest of public health. Chapter 19 deals with inpatient coding. Inpatient coders, by and large, are in more lucrative positions than many of the outpatient and medical office codes. Reason is that accurate coding is hugely important to the financial viability of a hospital. We'll talk about MSDRGs. DRGs are diagnosis-related groups, and they started off just for acute care Medicare patients, but now we're seeing them expand into long-term care and other settings. What drives the correct DRG, or as we now say, Medicare severity DRGs, is the principal diagnosis. And again, the principal diagnosis, one sentence, is the condition that caused the condition, meaning the diagnosis after study, that caused the patient to be admitted to the hospital. And again, just a reminder, as we talked about several weeks ago, you can only have a principal diagnosis in the inpatient setting. That's what we have this week. Feel free to stop by office hours if you have any other questions or concerns. Have a great week. Bye now.